think it's still okay to say Shabbat Shalom. We will say Shavua Tov later, but just a little bit left of this day of Shabbat, this day of peace, which we of course are sad to bid farewell. And so the beauty of our tradition is that we take part of it with us. And so we have the ritual of Havdalah, when we use these beautiful spices, candles, and wine so we can capture some of the essence of Shabbat as we move into the ordinary moment of the new week. But this is not an ordinary week that we're headed into. This is the week that precedes the high holidays. And if we haven't yet been engaged in serious self-reflection, this is our kickstart, Selichot. One of my colleagues, I thought, very wisely referred to this Havdalah moment as our mezuzah in time, that we're stepping through this doorway into something new of our own making. And so we begin, bringing the beauty of Shabbat with us as we begin serious examination of the soul.
May gladness reign and joy increase. A good week, a week of peace. May gladness reign and joy increase. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagilani. Imhera b'yameinu, yavo eleinu. Mashiach ben David, Mashiach ben David, Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagilani.
Shavua Tov.
Create a pure heart in me, O God. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, O God. Create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within, and renew a true soul within me, and renew a true soul within. Create a pure heart in me, O God. Create a pure heart in me. Create a pure heart in me, O God. Create a pure heart in me. And renew a true soul within me. And renew a true soul within. And renew a true soul within me. And renew a true soul within.
The high holidays are about change. One of the first things we do when we come to prepare for the high holidays is we change the Torah mantles. From whatever color they might be, ours are a royal red to white. The color white in Judaism is really a symbol of transition. There are several times throughout the year and throughout our lives when we put on a white kittel, a white robe. At a time of a wedding, when we transition into marriage, at Passover, when we transition from bondage to liberation, upon burial, when we transition from the physical world to the spiritual world, and during the high holidays, when we transition from the way that we have become to who we want to be. And that is such a profound change. That is not only we who wear white, but the Torah, which is at the heart of who we are as Jews. The Torahs join us. And so in just a minute, we will step through the doorway of this period of change, as we will take the Torah scrolls out of the ark and bring them to be changed into their white mantles. We invite you who are prepared to come and make those changes to please do so now as we begin.
return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to love, love. We return again to love. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to truth, truth, truth. We return again to truth. Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva, Kadesh Yameinu, Tekedem. Yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, lai, lai. Yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai. Yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, lai, lai. Yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai, lai, 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 yalalai. Leshana tova tikativu, Leshana tova tikativu, Leshana tova tikativu, Leshana tova tikativu. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to truth. We return again to truth. Hashivenu Adonai, Elecha v'nashuva, Kadesh Yameinu, return,
we return,
we return, return again. We return,
we return,
we return,
we return,
we return, return again and again to you. We return again to you.
Thanks to all those who helped us change our Torah mantles, and thanks to Max and Lenore Lerner for representing all those who are watching at home. We are one community in this moment as we prepare to return. If you have a Siddur with you, we're on page 106. The words are also on the screen. The psalmist sang, "At midnight I rise to give thanks and praise." And so we come to this hour of Selichot under the canopy of night, to celebrate goodness, to proclaim what is right and true, to praise, to thank, to bless the great giver who gives and renews our lives. We turn to loved ones, to friends, and to people everywhere, the whole house of Israel. And our hearts turn toward the human family. We pray for its healing. Yet hardest of all is the inward gaze, the return to ourself, the honest reckoning of the soul, cheshbon hanefesh. We ask how to account for our selfish acts, lies, and senseless anger, how to account for the shadows, the storms, the bitterness in our lives, the damage and distress we cause, how to own up to it all and find our way back with integrity and peace. We ask, have we the will to change? And if not now, when?
Tituli Shaaray tzedek avovam odeya.
Tituli Shaaray tzedek avovam odeya.
Zeh hashar Adonai tzadikim yavou vo.
Zehashar l'Adonai, tzadikim yavoma.
Tituli Shaaray tzedek avovam odeya. Tituli Shaaray tzedek avovam odeya.
Achat shalti me'et Adonai, otav akesh. Achat shalti me'et Adonai, otav akesh. Shivti bevet Adonai, kol yemei hayai. Lachazot benoam benoam Adonai, ulevaker behalo. Lachazot benoam benoam Adonai, ulevaker behalo. Achat shalti me'et Adonai, otav akesh. Achat shalti me'et Adonai, otav akesh. Shivti bevet Adonai, kol yemei hayai. Lachazot benoam benoam Adonai, ulevaker
As we enter into the necessary personal reflection of cheshbon nefesh, of examining our souls, the poet Rilke reminds us, be patient toward all that is unresolved in your heart. Try to love the questions themselves. Do not now seek the answers which cannot be given because you would not be able to live them, and the point is to live everything. Live the questions now. Perhaps you will then gradually, without noticing it, live along some distant day into the answers. And so what are some of these questions? Perhaps we might ask ourselves, what is the nature of my cheshbon nefesh this year? What should be my focus as I examine my deeds and my direction from now through Yom Kippur? What is unresolved in my heart? What questions are on my mind? What is unclear, uncertain, unsettled in my life? What decisions have I been putting off or avoiding? Is there one change I would like to make in the way I am living my life and relating to others? When I look over my accounts, what do I see? Which personal qualities need repair and strengthening? What habits of mind, character, behavior need correction? And which relationships in my life are most challenging at this time? We sit with these questions now.
Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael, Amrim Shema Yisrael, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor Sherit Am Echad, Shomer Yisrael, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor Sherit Am Echad. Ve'al Yovad Goy Echad, Hamiyachadim Shimcha, Hamiyachadim Shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Shomer Yisrael, Shemor Sherit Yisrael, Ve'al Yovad Yisrael, Amrim Shema Yisrael, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor Sherit Am Echad, Shomer Yisrael, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor Sherit Am Echad. Shomer Yisrael, Shomer Goy Echad, Shemor Sherit Am Echad.
We read in the Midrash, the Holy One said to Israel, my children, make for me an opening of teshuvah as small as the eye of a needle, and I will make the opening of forgiveness so wide that coaches and wagons could enter. Depth of goodness, fount of forgiveness, all of us need your compassion. When I'm praying, when I'm desperate, listen to me, answer me. When I call you in my trouble, enfold me in your love.
hide your face from me. I'm asking for your help. I call to you, please hear my prayers, O God. If you would answer me as I have called to you, please heal me now. Don't hide your face from me. Don't hide your face from me. I'm asking for your help. I call to you, please hear my prayers, O God. If you would answer me as I have called to you, please heal me now. Don't hide your face from me. If you would answer me as I have called to you, please heal me now. Don't hide your face from me. Please heal me now. Don't hide your face from me. Please heal me now. Don't hide your face. Don't hide your face from me.
We continue our prayers on page 114. Father of wonders, mother of souls, forgive the darkness in our hearts, our loss of hope. Pardon our distraction, our ears closed to the pleas of the poor, and lead us to atonement. Father of wonders, mother of souls, forgive us our circles of secrecy, knots of guilt, shame, and anger, webs of betrayal and greed. Pardon the pursuit of happiness that ends in worship of self, and lead us to atonement. Father of wonders, mother of souls, refuse to forgive our refusal to forgive. Release our grudges, hatreds, and feuds. Puncture our stubborn self-righteousness, and lead us to atonement. Father of wonders, mother of souls, forgive our vanity in a universe of awe, our complacency in a universe of need. Pardon our failure to thank, praise, and salute every soul and every star. Lead us to atonement. Father of wonders, mother of souls, forgive us our disregard and insolence, our distance from loved ones and from friends. Pardon our daily inattentiveness, our failure to notice that we fail to notice, and lead us to atonement.
The book of Lamentations says, Shivchi kamayim libech, and pour out your hearts like water. Pour out your hearts and remember.
כי אנו עמך ואתה אלוהינו, אנו בניך ואתה אבינו, אנו עבדיך ואתה
page 119, let's read together. Notice the river at break of dawn, a braid of streams, creeks, and brooks, a dance of insects near the shore. Notice how brackish, where the river meets the sea, how with grace the river hugs the shore, fierce in its rising, fiercer when it falls. Notice it all, how it bends, how it tells the time of year, and how smooth the boulders are that guide its course. Notice the Holy One in blessing and in beauty, and acts of repair, in the unearthing of truth, in eyes that meet in the tumult of change, in words of forgiveness, in the bridges we build to those we hurt, in the flow of a year, in the course of a journey, in rising and falling, in the bend of a river, in the hand we hold out to those who hurt us, in the life we are living, in blessing and in beauty.
Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, every way, where you stand, where you walk, where you love, where you praise, all of life is holy ground. Every he, every she, every they, every who, it's in her, it's in me, it's in them, it's in you, in the bitter, in the sweet, in the calm, in the storm. All of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. When you hurt, when you heal, when you laugh, when you pray, when you doubt, when you keep, when you give it away, every second, every minute, every hour, every day, all of life is holy ground. So walk as if it's holy ground. Breathe as if it's all around. Talk and make a holy sound. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground. One story, one journey, one tapestry we weave. One people, one glory, one legacy we leave. Every second, every minute, every hour, every day, everything, everyone, every place, every way, where you stand, where you walk, where you love, where you praise, all of life is holy ground. Then you feel the holy ground. Take your shoes off, you're on holy ground.
As we enter into the high holy days, we turn to God. God is, in our tradition, the God of justice. In this moment, we need God's compassion as we open our hearts to the brokenness within us, as we seek forgiveness from ourselves and from one another and from the Holy One of blessing. And nowhere are those words of the idea of God being a compassionate God more deeply found in Torah than in Exodus chapter 34, where They're outlined in 2 verses, are 13 attributes of God that weigh heavily on the side of God's compassion. So we'll recite these words many times throughout the holy days, not just to recall the words of the Torah, but really to say from this very moment, from Selichot all the way through Ne'ilah, we need God's compassion now. We invite you, please, to rise. Adonai, Adonai, God, compassionate, gracious, endlessly patient, loving, and true, showing mercy to the 1000th generation, forgiving evil, defiance, and wrongdoing, and granting pardon. Page 123.
It's Chaim hi, v'machazikim ba, v'tom hecha meushar, derachecha tarchei noam, v'chol netivotecha shalom, Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva, Chodesh, Chodesh Yameinu, Chodesh Yameinu kekedem.
Please be seated. As the days of awe near, we reach for the infinite. Mindful of our frailty, we seek the holy. Despite our mortality, we carry within us the Ancient of Days. Despite loneliness within, we sense that we belong to a single soul, a spirit that fills the entire universe. Let us find in that universal spirit a new source of strength and significance, more compassion, more generosity, more gratitude for life. Let our hearts be open to self-reckoning, and may we grasp how vital to our lives is teshuvah, the path of return. On this night of forgiveness, we confess our wrongs and take account of our sins, failures of judgment, weakness of will. The hour is late, our need to be forgiven profound.
Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Tavo lefanecha, tefilatenu, Titalom mitkinatenu, Anai הזפנים וכשי עורף אומר לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו צדיקים אנחנו ולא חטאנו אנחנו חטאנו אבינו ay 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 אשמנו בגדנו גזלנו דיברנו דופי ay 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 הבינו והרשנו זדנו חמסנו טפלנו שקר ay 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 יעצנו רע כיזבנו לוצנו מורדנו ניאצנו שררנו אבינו פשענו שררנו הכישינו עורף ay 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 רשענו שיחתנו תיעבנו טעינו תיתנו ay 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 ay
We abused and abandoned. We acted without thinking. You can join me with me. We blamed others when we failed. We boasted and belittled. We coveted and corrupted. We coerced the weak to do our will. We drove away those we love with silence. We deceived and denied. We enticed and enslaved. We exalted money and material goods. We followed air, sea, and land. We flattered and falsified. We gravitated to those who gossip. We gave up our ideals and gave in to our impulses. We hated and humiliated. We held grudges and refused to forgive. We ignored and idolized. We insisted that we were right. We judged others rashly and wrongly. We were jealous and unjust.
We killed, we were knowingly unkind. We kept to ourselves in the face of need. We lacked commitment to causes we espoused. We were lazy and we lied. We missed the mark and minimized our mistakes. We mocked what we did not understand. We neglected those who depend upon us. We were negative and narcissistic. We overreached and overreacted, too often erupting in outbursts of anger. We poisoned and polluted. We perverted truth for personal gain. We quelled the voice of conscience within us. We quit too soon and quarreled too often. We ridiculed and resented. We refused to ask help. We rationalized our failings and our flaws. We spurned the wisdom of our tradition. We squabbled and scorned. We talked too much or not enough. We traumatized our children with anger. We issued ultimatums and made ugly threats. We uttered untruths and undermined with cynicism. We were vain and vicious. We vilified foreigners and strangers. We wasted time, strength, and talent. We wallowed in self-pity, wished but did not act. We exploited and expropriated. We expected others to save the world. We yearned too much for prizes and praise and failed to share fully in the joy of Zion reborn. The ways we have wronged you under duress and by choice. The harm we have caused in your world deliberately and by mistake. The ways we have wronged you openly and secretly. The harm we have caused in your world consciously and unconsciously. The ways we have wronged you by hating without cause. The harm we have caused in your world through gossip and rumor. The ways we have wronged you through a selfish or petty spirit. The harm we have caused in your world by hardening our hearts. For all these failures of judgment and will, God of forgiveness, forgive us, pardon us, lead us to atonement.
Ve'al
Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, we stray and we sin, when we fail to make peace the highest good, and when we are silent in the face of evil, when we forsake those who suffer far away, and when we shun the wronged and destitute among us, when we diminish God's image through violence or indifference, and when we fail to take care of those who depend on us, when we engage in slander or deceit, and when we distort the truth for personal gain, when we judge others rashly or unfairly, and when we stoke the fires of communal strife, when we fail to embrace Torah, the tree of life, to walk its paths and make its ways our own. We stray and we sin when we offer no blessings, no word of thanks for the breath within us and for the wonder of being.
Though we all have been hurt, though we all have hurt each other, let us all forgive. Let us all be forgiven, though we all have caused pain in our words to one another. Let us all forgive. Let us all be forgiven. Slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper, kaper lanu. Slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper, kaper lanu. Though we all have regret for the words that we have spoken, let us all forgive. Let us all be forgiven. Let now be the time to repair what has been broken. Let us all forgive. Let us all be forgiven. Slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper, kaper lanu. Slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper, kaper lanu. For the gates are always open, for the gates are always open, for the gates are always open. Though we never can change all the times we've been mistaken, let us all forgive. Let us all be forgiven. Let us try to rebuild all the trust we have forsaken. Let us all forgive. Let us all be forgiven. Slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper, kaper lanu. Slach lanu, mecha lanu, kaper, kaper lanu.
The Hebrew poet, the Israeli poet Yehuda Amichai wrote, "From the place where we are right, flowers will never grow in the spring. The place where we are right is hard and trampled like a yard, but doubts and loves dig up the world like a mole, a plow, and a whisper will be heard in the place where the ruined house once stood." Page 134.
Shema kolenu, Adonai Eloheinu, usverachem aleinu. וקבל ברחמים וברצון את תפילתנו.
Won't you hear our voice above all the noise and have mercy on our souls? We are in your care. Won't you hear our prayer and forgive us, forgive us.
Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Kus verachim aleinu Bekabel berachamim uvratzon et tfilateinu. When we've lost our way, give us one more day to return to what is true. Won't you take us in so we can begin a new year? Won't you please hear? Shema Kolenu Adonai Eloheinu Kus verachim aleinu Bekabel berachamim uvratzon et tfilateinu uvratzon et tfilateinu uvratzon et tfilateinu.
On page 138, through the enduring voice of her poetry, Priscilla Stern invites us. Walk with me into the woods. Leave the edge of the forest behind. Come deep into the green until the shafts of sunlight are lost. Feel the stillness of the center. Walk with me to the top of the hill. Leave the broad path behind. Up beyond where the trees grow. Hear the quiet of the heights. Walk me into this new year, into its demands, into its joys, into the clamor of its unfolding. Walk alone, each of us on our own right path, with the echoes of the blasts of the shofar, with the stillness of the center, with the help of our God. Page 140. Again, please feel free to always join as you would like. Forgive us, Avinu, we have sinned. Pardon us, Malkeinu, we have transgressed. For you are the one who pardons and forgives. Or maybe it's this way. Forgive us, Avinu. Pardon us, Malkeinu. And God replies, no, it's you. You are the one who must pardon and forgive. Forgive the ones around you. You're wasting precious time. Forgive your parents. They did the best they could. Forgive the one who betrayed you. Let go of anger and move on. Forgive yourself for your own imperfection.
Please rise.
Avinu Malkeinu Konenu Vanenu Ki ein banu maasim. Avinu Malkeinu Konenu Vanenu Ki ein עמנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים. אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים.
Please remain standing. Rabbi Reines was saying a minute ago to me, Selichot is the essence of the high holidays boiled down into just an hour or so. But we have a lot of work to do, and we'll be together for a lot in the next couple of weeks. We are very much looking forward to seeing everyone online and in person. It's going to be a beautiful holiday, and it feels good for those of us who've been planning since last Simchat Torah pretty much, that it's finally here. We're glad to see you. We're glad that those who are online are able to watch. As we conclude this service, we're going to hear the sound of the shofar, and it is time to open our souls, my friends, time to open our hearts to the work of repair and repentance. We have this audacious idea in Judaism that we can be better, that we can return again to the best that we can be. So as you listen to the sound of shofar wherever you are, we hope that you'll begin to feel your heart open to the weeks and the work ahead. Tekiah, Tekiah, Tekiah Gedolah. Yishar Koach. Shavua Tov and Shana Tova. We will see you next week. Thank you for being with us. Shana Tova.